Sinusitis is one of those things people think they understand until it keeps coming back. You clear it, you feel better, and then a few weeks later, it's back again. Blocked nose, pressure in your face, that foggy, heavy feeling. So the question is, why does this keep happening? Because not everyone reacts the same way. Same air, same environment, different response. So today, we're not just talking about sinusitis, we're talking about why the body might be reacting this way in the first place and what most people are missing. So if this sounds good to you, stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. It is Cameron, and today I'm here with Dr. Chris Cormier. Our talk is on sinusitis, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hello, Dr.
Hi,
Cormier.
Cameron.
What is sinusitis?
Inflammation of the sinuses.
Very simple, very
Yes.
simple. What does sinusitis actually feel like for someone who is dealing with it regularly?
So it can be acute, meaning like all of a sudden you get it, and then it can also be chronic, where people stay stuffy all the time, right? It's like a constant stuffiness that you just can't get to go away.
Why does something as simple as breathing through your nose suddenly become so difficult?
There's so many factors. Again, let's go back to the way our bodies work, and our bodies are perfectly designed by God. It's so cool to think about how we're designed by this amazing engineer, and we don't really think about. We're blessed with all these programs, and we're blessed with all this healing potential in our bodies, and we just don't think about any of it until something goes wrong.
Okay.
And then when something goes wrong in your body, like sinusitis, if you don't fix it properly and you just have it, most people just say, oh yeah, my sinuses are always stuffy. I have it. It's just part of my DNA and I'm not going to get rid of it. But that's actually not how the body's designed at all. Your body's actually designed to heal itself. And you have to know what to do in this particular condition to do those things.
With this particular condition, a lot of people feel pressure in their face. What is really happening beneath the surface?
So again, let's just talk about oxygen, right?
Okay.
Go back to the number. I can't believe it's 2026. I have to have this conversation with people. But the number one ingredient that's in every single part of your body, number one, 65% of your chemistry should be oxygen gas. That's why we can't do without breathing. So you can imagine, breathing is incredibly important. And even somebody without sinusitis, we don't breathe enough. And we don't know we're breathing anymore. So everybody has problems internally with oxygen. They don't even know it. But when it comes to sinusitis in particular, when you start decreasing the amount of air that you got coming in through the nose, then you'll start mouth breathing. Well, your nose is designed to filter more of your air. So you can imagine one thing causes another and another and another. The next thing you know, you got a snowball of problems that are there. From our perspective, why does that happen? A lot of people don't realize, like one of the main nerves, we talk about the nervous system, right? So your brain, your spinal cord, it connects to every single one of your cells in your entire body, which is crazy to think about. So there's trillions of cells, there's trillions of nerves, right? You can't even see them. They start from big all the way to microscopic. You can imagine, let's just talk about, you have maxillary sinuses here, you have frontal sinuses, they're ethmoid, sphenoid sinuses, they're deep in there. And these sinuses are like pockets, right? You're supposed to breathe this air in, your body kind of gets it all in, and then you obviously get the oxygen all the way down to your cells. That's the purpose. But when you start having issues with one side being stuffy, I'll give you an example. My wife, every single morning, when we first started, we've been married for 30 years, but when we first got together, every single morning she'd wake up, she was stuffy every single day, and literally was on 3 doses of antibiotics a year. So she had really bad sinuses, and so it took me several years. This was over 30 years ago, and it took me a while to figure her sinuses out. But once I figured out how to reconnect her brain to all these little parts, all the muscles around the sinuses, all these parts, all these bones are wired to the brain, all the cells in the bones. Once we connected all those, she's never had any sinus issues ever since, and wakes up clear every single morning. If we wouldn't have figured that out for her, she would have probably had a lifetime full of it and then passed it on to our kids, which we were very fortunate that we didn't have any of that. So it's kind of like a connection thing. You want to think of the better connected your brain is to parts in your body, the better those parts function.
How much does environment and season actually influence sinus problems?
It goes to the individual. So in every single individual basically can be weak to anything, right? And some things that make you weak, that you're weak to, I may not be weak to, somebody else may be. And that's why certain people get this. You might have a big room of people and nobody has any sinus issues, and except for one or two, because maybe they're sensitive to something that's in that air. That could be a part of what's going on with sinusitis.
Could sinusitis be more than just a sinus problem?
100%, yes. Because remember, if these are inflamed all the time, they're more vulnerable. Yeah. So the next thing you know, microbes like bacteria and virus, fungus, parasites, all those types of things can colonize. And the next thing you know, a lot of people do this. We see this in practice a lot, where people snort in and swallow. And so you can imagine if you stay stuffy here and you snort it in instead of blowing it out, you're snorting in whatever's that trash is in your sinuses, and you're swallowing it. So then that trash is going into your GI, and then you're breathing here. So if you got a bunch of trash here and it's going to your respiratory tract too. So you can imagine there's so many conditions that can be caused just by having sinuses that are inflamed.
You have your clinic, the Nerve Health Institute. When someone with chronic sinusitis comes into the Nerve Health Institute, what do you assess first?
So we want to go and assess their nerve function, right? We want to get into the brain, figure out where the brain is connected or where it's disconnected. It's very similar to, think about one power company for trillions of houses. And so in particular, all these sinuses, like my wife's case, I had to figure out where little cell groups were disconnected from the brain and actually reconnect those areas. It's complicated, right? It's taken me every bit of 30 years to figure this out, but it's now it's this beautiful thing that you have. Your brain is wired to all your parts. You have to keep it connected. And it's something else to think about. There's input into your brain through these cells, and there's output, right? So it's complicated. There's so many different things that we have to do, but that's the first step, is actually figuring out where these disconnects are, making the brain, the power company, aware of a power outage so they can actually get the power back to it.
For someone dealing with recurrent sinus issues at home, how can body chargers support them?
Yeah, remember, so we have the Nerve Health Institute, and then we also have Body Chargers, which is our at-home portal, because it can't go with everybody 24/7. So there's so many routes in Body Chargers. We have little devices that reset frequency to your sinuses, and a lot of times so many patients have had amazing results, including myself and my wife and kids and staff members. We've had tremendous results with using the little frequency devices that we have in there. And then also there's other small suggestions, like we have these little tricks. Some of the tricks I have in there to be able to reset your sinuses, the brain to the sinuses, I invented through my wife, or through thousands of people we've seen here at the Nerve Health Institute. It's like trying to teach you how to be your own mechanic so that you can get rid of these conditions. And again, your body's designed. It's like, think about this like a cut that won't go away. And you got to do something to get the cut to go away, because remember, your body is programmed to heal the cut.
Yeah. And lastly, are there any simple daily habits that can help the body respond better and reduce reoccurring flare-ups?
So in my clinic here and in our house, we try to do everything we can to keep the air natural and clean. Yes. And so many people, because the average American stays indoors 90+% of the time, their indoor air will dictate their health. And so if you have a lot of bad things in the indoor air you don't know about, well, of course, it can get in your sinuses and everywhere else. So we have routes for home where it's a diffuser you hook onto your return air that we use, and people can get this through our Body Chargers platform. But it has all natural oils, and those oils help to clean the air up naturally. So, and you don't have to think about it. It's just plugged in. So we have those routes to be able to help. So many more suggestions we have in our Body Chargers platform, but that would be the first step, is just at least thinking about and being aware of your indoor air and just paying attention, because there may be some things in there, like artificial scents, maybe some mold. You never know what's in your indoor air, but just pay attention to how it's making you feel. And then some people go to work and they feel worse, right? And then they come back home and they feel better. Just pay attention to those things and then make adjustments. And that's what we're here for.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Cormier. That does conclude our talk for today.
If this podcast spoke to you, or if you feel like you have family members or friends that have these types of conditions that could benefit from this particular technology, then all you need to do is become a Body Chargers member or tell them about Body Chargers. Remember, it's our community that I created to help people at home with the best technologies in the world to be able to help you to self-heal your body at home and maximize your self-healing. So go to Body Chargers, become a member. That's the easiest way to get this done. And we look forward to serving you and your family. Also, if you want a higher level of care, we have the Nerve Health Institute you can always come to. That's our clinic where we have higher level services here to be able to help you. So I hope you enjoy, and we look forward to serving you and your family, and look forward to our next podcast.